Hello everyone, this is Vardhaman and welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn about omega and theta notation. We have already covered big O notation in our previous video. So let's start with the first notation, which is omega. Consider two functions, fn and gn. Fn is said to be omega of gn if and only if fn is greater than or equal to c into gn. For all n should be greater than equal to n naught, where c and n naught are two positive constant, where c is greater than 0 and n naught is greater than or equal to 0. The definition may not be that clear, so let's utilize the graph to understand what omega is. So we have our two function fn and gn, and which is on the y-axis, and the x-axis represent n. So fn is said to be big of gn if and only if fn is greater than or equal to c of gn. So you can see in the graph that until a certain point, which is n naught, the value of f and c into gn are not in any relation. Here they are in a zigzag pattern. So sometimes fn is larger and sometimes c dot gn is larger. So if you see at certain point, which is n naught represented here, after this point you can see fn will always be greater than c into gn. So if this conditions satisfy after n naught for any value greater than n naught, then we can say fn is omega of gn. We will be doing multiple example to understand the concept of both omega and theta. So we have the theta as the next topic. So let's cover theta first, then we can do questions for both omega and theta, so we can get a better understanding of both through example. Consider fn and gn to be a two function, and fn is said to be theta of gn if and only if it meets the below two condition. So first one is fn should be smaller than or equal to c1 of gn, and second condition is fn should be greater than or equal to c2 of gn. For all n should be greater than or equal to n naught, where c1, c2 and n naught are two positive constant, and c1 and c2 are greater than 0, n naught is greater than or equal to 0. So if you can see the first condition, so this is exactly same as big O. So big O also have fn should be smaller than or equal to c1 of gn. So this condition is exactly same as big O. And the second condition, fn should be greater than or equal to c2 of gn. So this condition is exactly same as omega. So we can say that if the function is said to be theta, if and only if it is big O as well as omega. So if it is satisfying both the condition, then we can say the function is theta. Now understand theta with the help of graph. So on the y-axis we have fn and gn, and on the x-axis we have n. So you can see until a certain point, which is n naught, all the three functions c1 of gn, fn and c2 of gn are in a zigzag pattern. So there is no relation between them. But after a certain point, which is n naught, which is here, so if we take any value greater than n naught, that can be n naught plus 1, n naught plus 2 or anything greater than n naught, then it's meeting a certain condition, which is fn should be smaller than or equal to c1 dot gn. So you can see here fn is always smaller than c1 of gn, and this condition can also be called as big O. And next you can see fn should be always greater than c2 dot gn. So here c2 dot gn is always smaller than fn, and this condition can be called as omega. So if these two conditions are met, then we can say the given function is theta. So let's move on to some example. We can get a better understanding of all three, big O, omega and theta, with the help of examples. Let's see for example. So here we have first fn is equal to n and gn is given equal to n square. Let's check for big O. So for big O, Fn should be smaller than or equal to C into Gn. So here Fn is n and C dot Gn, which will be C into n square. So here you can clearly see n is smaller than n square. So if we take a value of C equal to 1 and n not equal to 1, then we can see 1 will be equal to 1. And if we increase the value, suppose we take n equal to 2, so here will be 2, which will be smaller than equal to 1 into 2 square, which is 4. So we can say this function is big O. Now let's see if this is omega or not. So for omega, Fn should be greater than or equal to C into Gn. So Fn is n and C into Gn will be, so here it is n, and C dot Gn will be C into n square. So here we have to choose the value of C, and the value of C I can think of is only 1 by n. So if we keep the value of C as 1 by n, then only this function will become equal. So if we replace it, n and 1 by n into n square, which will be n. So only in this condition f of n and cn of gn will become equal if we keep the value of c as 1 by n. But this value c equal to 1 by n is a variable, and we have seen c should be constant. So we can say here this will not be possible. So the omega is not possible here. Now let's see for theta. So here we have theta. For theta, the both conditions to satisfy. So it should be big O also, and it should be omega also. If both these conditions satisfy, then only we can say it is theta. So we have seen it is big O, but it is not omega. So we can conclude that this is not theta. We have already covered big O, small o, and theta notation with the help of definition, couple of example, and also with the help of graphs. Now the two things are left, which is small omega and small o. So these two are left, so we will be covering them now. Let's see big O notation one more time before we move to small o notation. So we have two functions, f of n and g of n, and a function is said to be big O if f of n is smaller than or equal to gn. So let's see a few examples. So here we have n cube, and for gn we have taken n. So this is clearly not a big O because fn is smaller than gn. So this is not big O. Next we will compare n square. So n square is also same. It is smaller than n cube, so it will not be big O. Next we have n cube. So this is equal. So we can say this is big O. Next we have n to the power 5, which is greater than n cube. So this is big O. And the next we have n raised to the power 100. So this is also greater than n cube. So this is also big O. Let's see small o notation. So for a two function fn and gn, it is said to be big O if fn is smaller than gn. So in big O we have smaller than or equal to, but in small o it is only smaller than. So let's see with the help of example. So for fn we have n cube, and for gn we have a number of gn's. So for the first, let's check. So here n cube is greater than n. So this is clearly not small o, and it is also not a big O. For n square, it is also smaller than n cube, so it is also not big O and not small o. For n cube, so n cube is equal. So here it will be big O, but it will not be small o because small o is smaller than, not equal to, so this will not be small o. For n raised to the power 5, it is greater than n cube, so this will be small o as well as big O. For n raised to the power 100, it is also same, it is greater than n cube, so it will be both small and big O. Now let's see big omega and small omega. So big omega we have already seen, it is same omega. So two functions are said to be omega if fn is greater than or equal to c of gn. So here it is greater than or equal to. So let's check with the help of some example. So first one, n cube. So we can see n cube is greater than n, so this is big omega. Second is n square, this is also greater than, so this is big omega. Third we have n cube, this is equal, so this will be omega as well, big omega. Next we have n raised to the power 5, so this will not be big omega because it is not greater than, it will be smaller than, so n cube will be smaller than n raised to the power 5, so this will be not small omega, not big omega. Next we have n raised to the power 10, so this will also be greater than n cube, so this will also not be big omega. These two are not big omega. Now let's move on to small omega. So difference in small and big omega is, small omega is only greater than and big omega is greater than or equal to. So let's see some example. We have fn equal to n cube and gn, we have same set of functions. The first one is definitely small omega because it is greater than. Second is n square, so this is also n cube is greater than n square, so this is also small omega, so these both are small omega. Now the third one is n cube, which is not greater than but it is equal to. So in this case this will not be small omega, it will be big omega but it will not be small omega. So for n raised to the power 5, this is greater than n cube, so this will not be small omega, and for n raised to the power 100, same case, it will also be greater than, so it will not be small omega. So we have big O, small o, big omega, small omega. We also have theta, but we do not have small theta, so there is no such thing like small theta.